African Development Bank gets a new president. Good evening, I am Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live on our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM has launched its election manifesto for 2025 general elections with 9 priorities, while the manifesto identifies 13 priorities to be implemented in Zanzibar. Addressing CCM members at the extraordinary meeting in Dodoma, the chairperson of CCM, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, says it is important to unite when going to the polls, as they will implement the manifesto with good plans. Caroline Maleo has more details.
The launch of the Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM manifesto is a step towards general elections in October this year. Speaking at the launch of the manifesto at the extraordinary Chama cha Mapinduzi meeting in Dodoma, chairperson of CCM President Samia Suluhu Hassan says all CCM members must persuade people to implement the manifesto by voting for CCM. She further urges fairness in electing CCM candidates who will be ready to implement the party's manifesto.
Kwa hiyo twendeni tukachuje kwa ustadi mkubwa. Tukachuje tuweke watu ambao watakifanyia kazi chama chetu, tutakwenda kutekeleza ilani ya uchaguzi.
Let us go and choose leaders wisely and skillfully. Let us elect those who are committed to serving our party so that we can implement our party's manifesto in order to have a fair and transparent selection process. Those intending to run should announce their intentions early. I have told the Secretary General that by the 1st of June, I should have received the names of the candidates. Those are my directives.
Presenting the CCM manifesto for 2025 elections, Professor Kitila Mkumbo says the manifesto has 9 priorities, focusing on the implementation of the Development Vision 2050, considering people's desires and improving rural development, while Dr. Saada Mkuya says there are 13 priorities based on improving people's lives. Delivering their greetings at the meeting, delegates from different countries expressed their historical relations with CCM politically and economically.
This significant gathering is a testimony to CCM's enduring legacy as a revolutionary force and a beacon of unity, progress, and solidarity. We take this moment to express our profound gratitude for Tanzania's unwavering support during Namibia's struggle for liberation. The solidarity extended by CCM and the people of Tanzania to SWAPO and its military wing, the People's Liberation Army of Namibia plan, was a cornerstone to our victory against colonial oppression and the white minority rule in Namibia.
And your Congress is another very important step in making your country, your people, very prosperous. Tanzania is not in the news these days. And this is a positive thing, because the Western media always picks up all sorts of crises, floods, coup d'etat, hunger, poverty, etc. There is nothing in Tanzania. There is nothing for them to report. Tanzania is the most stable country in Africa. And we congratulate you for that.
The 2 days extraordinary meeting has ended in Dodoma, while CCM is preparing itself for the general elections. Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
With that note, we are joined in the studio by political analyst Patinas Niagera. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
What is your take with regards to the launched manifesto?
First of all, the manifesto is trying to come up with the key strategic issues which are concerned with the development of a human person in the country. It is focusing on promoting inclusive economic growth as well as improving the well-being of the citizens. So with that note, when you look from chapter 1 up to chapter 3 or up to 4, is much concerned with the economic development, inclusive economy, and fighting actually income and non-income poverty. And those are the areas they are being stressed on. Youth employment, and so forth and so forth. So when you look at it generally, it is designed to go to the national election and win the election, but also maintaining the legacy of the other presidents who passed it, but also noting the leadership of CCM for about 48 years. So it is keeping itself in the tools and the shows of the past history, which is the legacy of the presidents which have passed, starting with the Magufuli, looking on the infrastructure which has been touched very well, but also speaking on the 48 kind of leadership legacy CCM has been with. So it is much around that area, and it is giving so much light on the coming economic growth.
With regards to giving it so much light, can it be implemented?
Chapter 4 of the manifesto has tried to explain categorically what are the things should be put in place to implement, because implementation is always an elephant in a room, because you come up with good, when you look at it, you find the plans itself which are there, the strategies which have been put. It is nice. It's as good as the Bible. But now, when it comes to implementation of many projects in Africa have failed. So this time, they have tried to touch seriously how they are going to implement it. One, they have given the mandate to the Central Committee or the Executive Council to come up with robust kind of a strategy and systems to ensure it goes down to the branch level, but also the political committees at the branch level are the ones who will be implementing and coming up with the reports. Something which has not been said and put very well is the team which is going to implement. Is something very crucial. What are kind of a people attached to the manifesto? What kind of vetting will these guys have? Fighting issues, corruption, irresponsibility, issues not to stand with your country. Speaking of patriotism, it has not much shown that, but when you look at chapter 4, it seriously speaks something of implementation, which I think is a matter of time to see how it will be implemented.
Definitely. Unity towards election has really been emphasized during this season. What is your opinion on that?
Yes, you know, unity is key in a political party. And when you have a divergent kind of views, it becomes so hard to implement and to stand on what you have promised to the people. So it is necessary for the party to unite, at the same time to have a common way of looking at things, to have a common thought, and to have a common direction. Now, when you don't have that, you will have a lot of conflict within the implementation process of your manifesto, and at the end of the day, you will use a lot of time to solve the conflict, and at the end of the day, you will find you are not implementing what you have promised to the people. So unity becomes the key, and I think because of what has been going on within CCM party, to use a term, Guajimanization of the projects of the business in the party could be something which is needed to be looked at. And I think she was speaking on that time and that tone.
Mr. Nyagera, a quick one. Do you see the manifesto as a winning tool for CCM in the coming general elections?
It cannot be said today or until when we see other political parties' manifesto so that we can be able to compare. But from the look of things and the energy which has been given and paid to the manifesto, you see there is a vibe of winning the election from the base itself. So we just leave it hypothetically like that, but in few days or few months to come, when other political parties launch their manifesto, we can be able to see the political vibe and the political mood around, and then we can be say that yes, CCM now can use this manifesto to win.
And how can people understand the details of the manifesto?
It goes back to CCM itself, from its structures, down from the branch from the stem, the branch, and going up to the national. They needed to descend this information to the people and be able, all of its structures, be able to understand what has been spoken of. But also you heard how it was formed. It was established from the views of the CCM members. So as the president, Madam President said, need actually to keep making noise and taking it to the people. So we have the people down there, we have the MPs, we have the local government officials who are on daily basis implementing the manifesto. They needed to start now speaking this language of manifestation of what they are going to do, and so that they may be given we say they may be given another term of belief and trust, so that they can take up the country again. So it's up to the CCM party itself. Mr.
Nyagira, you talked about developments that have touched the community, but this particular manifesto, does it focus on people's development? Partly yes, and partly is not directly seen. Because when you speak on infrastructure development, for example, digital economy, you speak on youth and employment, and you speak on trade, and you speak on issues to deal with transportation, you talk of marine and all this, generally is a part of material things, but at the end of the day, they are there for the well-being of the people. And when you look at one of the pillars of the manifesto, one is the welfare of the citizen. Now, when you speak of the welfare of the citizen, you go deeper to their sense of democratic processes, you go to their sense of their freedom, their justice, and all this. When that is properly properly maintained or properly implemented, seriously, you can say it will touch on the development of the people. But the development of the people is a wider concept, of which is participative, inclusive in nature, and is not a business of a single party, the business of a nation and the nation. So they have spoken issues to deal with our culture, they have spoken issues to deal with our family values, they have spoken issues to ensure such a good education, quality education, health, and also those things of the sort. When you look at them correctly, you say, yes, it has touched it in an indirect way. But if you are looking on direct means, you may not even find it there if at all you are going deeper to that thinking. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. If you've just joined us, we were chatting with political analyst Patinas Nyagira with regards to the recent launched CCM manifesto. Meanwhile, the digital future of Africa is taking center stage as leaders, policymakers, innovators, and civil society organizations gather for the 14th Annual Africa Internet Governance Forum. Under the theme, Empowering Africa's Future, this year's forum focuses on harnessing the power of digital transformation to drive sustainable development, economic growth, and inclusive governance across the continent. Here are more details with Antonia Kivaria.
It is a convergence of vision, innovation, and policy here at the 14th African Internet Governance Forum held in Dar es Salaam, where delegates from across the continent and beyond are chanting on the path for African digital evolution. Speaking at the conference, the Minister for Communication and Information Technology, Jerry Silla, says Africa to be competitive globally, young people need to access to digital skills, reliable internet, and opportunities to create and lead.
This transformation is supported by solid foundations in our policy and legal frameworks. These frameworks have significantly improved public service delivery, including financial transactions, e-commerce, e-education, healthy agriculture, e-society, and good governance.
On the other hand, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, country representative Michael Toto, says digital empowerment is not just about access, but it's also about enabling people to innovate, lead, and shape the world's digital policies from an African perspective.
Tanzania is not only adopting technology, but is shaping its own artificial intelligence future with a strong ethical vision.
Participants from the forum elaborate on how Africa can achieve its digital transformation.
That is why the spaces like the IGF are so important, because they bring together governments, civil society, private sector, and youth to build a digital ecosystem that is open, safe, inclusive, and empowering for all.
We are a region of 1.5 billion people, a young, vibrant population, and rapidly growing digital economy. But we are also a continent where inequalities persist, where infrastructure gaps remain wide, and where voices, especially those of women, youth, and marginalized communities, must be amplified and empowered.
In 2005, Tanzania, the connectivity was 2.1%. Today, Tanzania has 75% connectivity. And Tanzania is among the 10 top countries leading connectivity in the continent, and the #1 in East Africa. This Africa IGF, as a regional forum for Africa, is a key opportunity to raise and discuss policy challenges and opportunities in ICT development in Africa, and to develop joint strategies for Africa's digital future.
From shaping policy to sparkling innovation, the message is clear. Africa's digital future must be inclusive, secure, and homegrown. The AfIGF acts as a bridge between global internet, governance processes, and local African priorities. The forum sets the tone for Africa's digital future, on that is inclusive, resilient, and deeply African. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Antonia Kivaria, TBC News.
In other news, the Commissioner General of Prisons of Tanzania, CGP, Jeremiah Katundu, says the exchange of investigative information with prisons in the Southern African Development Community SADC region is important in addressing challenges of defense in those countries. Speaking after the annual meeting of the heads of prisons in SADC region held in Dar es Salaam, Katundu says prisons of the SADC region countries will continue to exchange investigative information, while the deputy head of prisons of Zambia, Kuyomba Bwala, says SADC countries have organized themselves to cooperate in various fields.
We face several challenges, and some of them are quite similar across our countries. But one of the main issues we have focused on is how to access intelligence reports. As you know, our prisons hold all kinds of offenders, from hardened criminals to those with extremist views. And without proper intelligence, there is always a risk that serious incidents can happen behind bars, including the planning of criminal activities from inside. That's why we have had in-depth discussions on how to strengthen intelligence gathering to help prevent crime within our prison systems.
It brings an opportunity for all heads of the correctional prisons and penitentiary institution to come and share best practices. Africa has always been getting information away from the boundary of SADC, but we thought it wise that this time around we could be able to share from the experiences of Tanzania. We could be able to share from all the countries that are within the SADC, and then come up with the best practices. And hence, that is the reason why we are gathering for this important undertaking.
The main objectives of the meeting was strengthening cooperation in the rehabilitation of prisoners and the economic field for prisons in SADC member states. Mauritania's candidate Dr. Sidi Ould Attar has been elected as president of the African Development Bank, taking over from Akinwumi Adesina. Blanche Guereses has more details.
Held in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, saw the former Mauritania cabinet minister garnering 76.18% of the votes in 3 rounds of voting to emerge victorious against 4 other candidates, including South Africa's Swazi Shabalala, who got 5.9%, and Zambia's Dr. Samuel Maimbo with 20.2% of votes. President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah has extended a message of congratulations to Dr. Ta on the election victory, wishing him all the best in implementing his vision for the African Development Bank. She says the implementation would enable the bank to improve the livelihoods of the Africans as outlined in the Continental Vision Blueprint Agenda 63. President Nandi-Ndaitwah also recalled Namibia's collaboration with the African Development Bank over the years, as evidenced in the sectors of agriculture, education, and transport. Dr. Ta becomes the 9th president of the African Development Bank, which is a development finance institution founded in 1964. The voting is conducted by a board of governors made up of finance and economy ministers and central bank governors. President Nandi-Ndaitwah also thanked the bank's outgoing president, Adesina, for his leadership of the institution over the past 10 years.
Zimbabwe is among the African countries that continues to celebrate iconic revolutionaries who have supported the African cause. Reporter Festus Mukungurutse went to the streets of Harare for a brief survey to check how much knowledge people have of the African icons.
Behind me is Sam Nujoma Street, named after Namibia's founding president who dedicated his life to the nation's struggle against apartheid. In the spirit of celebrating Africa Day, we set out to have a conversation with people in the streets of Harare on how much they know about the African liberation icons after which the streets were named.
Julius Nyerere. It was named after President of Tanzania.
We have Julius Nyerere, which was named after the first president of Tanzania, the late Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. It is important to name streets after our liberation icons in order to preserve our history as Africans.
Nelson Mandela Street is named after South Africa's leader Nelson Mandela, who is renowned for his fight against apartheid.
I know of Kenneth Kaunda Street, the first president of Zambia. Countries like Zambia and other African nations contributed immensely in Zimbabwe's liberation struggle for independence, so we are one people.
In addition to streets named in honor of African anti-colonial icons such as Samora Machel, Sam Nujoma, Julius Nyerere, Kenneth Kaunda, Angwa Street has been renamed Seretse Khama, Botswana's first president. Speak Avenue has become Agostinho Neto after Angola's first president, while Rotten Row was named after a prominent Egyptian revolutionary leader, Gamal Abdel Nasser. In Bulawayo, Livingstone Avenue was named in honor of South African anti-apartheid leader Oliver Tambo. The Africanization of street names is part of broader efforts to honor the legacy of African visionary leaders who fought tirelessly for the independence and freedom of the continent.
In other news, the acting director of the Department of Trade and Industry Development in Zanzibar, Thabit Masheko Ali, says industrial development is brought about by sustainable strategies for the integration of the Kaizen philosophy with the concept of small consumption for large production. Thabit Masheko Ali made the remarks in Dar es Salaam during the first Tanzania Kaizen Practitioners Association Trainers Annual Conference for the year 2025. Peter Mganga has more details.
Tanzania's government has made significant impact on industrial development through strategies plan, including Kaizen philosophy.
Kaizen itself is a continuous improvement. You can have a big impact by starting the very small, but taking a very small step. So as Tanzania is one among developing countries, I think the Kaizen philosophy will play the significant role on the improvement of the economy.
On the other hand, the chairperson of Tanzania Kaizen Practitioners Association, Dr. Alphonse Masaga, says association's strategies is to develop the country's economy through industrial and trade sector, while Ruben Dianga, who is a trainer of Tanzania Kaizen Practitioners Association, urges industrial stakeholders to align with the Kaizen's philosophy for future Tanzanians' economy.
Having an association, it will include different ideas. It will enable us to contribute and to foster the way and to pave the way forward. Because without having a strong association, then we will not perform an activity which will bring the impact to the community.
I'm proud, and also I'm so thankful to JICA and other entities like SIDO and TKU as well for this opportunity that I got.
JICA contractor of Kaizen philosophy in Tanzania, Shanya Adachi, praises commitment of Tanzania Kaizen practitioners.
After 2027, Tanzanian people can work by themselves to support for the micro, small, medium company. To increase the economic development in your country. That is our intention, our objective.
Kaizen philosophy will be accomplished in 2027. Peter Mganga, TBC News, Dar es Salaam.
Before concluding the local news tonight, let's take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday. It's now time for the sports news. And in sports, Simba Sports Club assistant coach Seleman Matola says semi-final of FA Cup against Singida Black Stars to be played at Mkwara Stadium in Manyara will be tough and unpredictable. Matola told TBC in Manyara Singida Black Stars has good and experienced players who can resist pressure from Simba, but they are well prepared to beat them and qualify to the finals, while Singida Black Stars admit there will be no excuse than winning the game as they dream big this season. Simba Sports Club had beaten Singida Black Stars by a goal to nil in Tanzania Premier League match at KMC Complex on Wednesday. And now they're meeting once again after 2 days in tomorrow's encounter in Manyara. And the question is, can Singida Black Stars find a way to stop the humiliation from Simba, or the Msimbazi Street Boys will continue to show up its dominant power against the sunflower producer? And that's the end of the sports news. Before we conclude the local news tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, dear weather followers. My name is Jess Makwata from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Welcome for 24 hours weather forecast starting from tonight. We expect a windy to flow at speed of 20 kilometers per hour for Lake Victoria, while for Lake Tanganyika and Nyasa, we expect a windy to flow at speed of 30 kilometers per hour. For the entire coastal belt, we expect a windy to flow at speed of 40 kilometers per hour, and also we expect large ocean waves reaching 2 meters over the coastal strip of the Indian Ocean. So TMA has issued advisory concerning period of strong winds expected over the entire coastal belt. People conducting marine activities are advised to take necessary precautions. During the night, we expect a mainly partly cloud condition over most part of the country, with light rain showers expected over Tanga together with Unguja and Pemba Azores. While for tomorrow, we expect Kagera and Mara to feature partly cloud condition, thunder showers over a few areas and sun period. Tanga, Azores of Unguja and Pemba, we expect rain showers over a few areas and sun period. While Dar es Salaam in Pwani region, we expect it to feature partly cloud condition, light rain showers over a few areas and sun period. And the rest part of the country generally expected to feature mainly partly cloudy condition. And now let's have the next 4 days weather forecast. Dar es Salaam we expected to feature mainly partly cloudy condition and rain showers over a few areas. Dodoma region we expect mainly dry condition for the coming 4 days. Mbeya region are expected to feature mainly partly cloudy condition and long sun periods. However, over Mwanza region, we expect mainly partly cloudy condition over most areas. Kilimanjaro region, we expect also to feature partly cloudy condition and sun periods. Morogoro region, we expect it to feature light rain showers as well as rain showers over a few areas, while Arusha region, we expected mainly partly cloudy condition for the coming 4 days. Dear viewers, from Tanzania Meteorological Authority, this is what we have for today. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I'm Kanki Mwegomole. Good night.